Today's WNEM TV5 Evening Extra is brought to you by the Law Office of Carol Thomas.
Michigan Secretary of State defending the integrity of elections amid questions raised this month by the clerk of Macomb County. Anthony Forlini claimed to have found evidence of people who had recused themselves from jury duty as non-U.S. citizens, but who were also registered to vote in Michigan. Forlini is a Republican who is running for Secretary of State.
And given the current political climate, Secretary of State SOS Benson has her own opinions on why he made those allegations, now that her office has investigated them. TV5's James Felton on what she found.
Clerk Forlini claimed that he had found 15 people who, between September of 2025 and January in 2026, recused themselves from jury duty because they were not United States citizens, and that they were also registered to vote in Michigan.
To investigate the claims made by the Macomb County Clerk, Michigan Secretary of State SOS Benson told us that the Michigan Bureau of Elections conducted an internal review of these 15 people.
What we found was that only 3 of the 15 people referred had any voting history at all, and 1 was an American citizen who had legally cast their ballot. 1 we are still investigating, and the 3rd last voted in 2018, and we at the Bureau of Elections in the state of Michigan canceled their registration in 2022.
Benson believes Forlini has another motive, saying that he reached out to the Department of Justice about these claims. Benson says that's the same DOJ that's suing Michigan and 23 other states for access to unredacted voter rolls that contain private personal information of millions of people. She tells us the DOJ hasn't said why it wants the information, what it would be used for, or if it would be kept safe.
They are using the power of the federal government to intimidate and threaten states into changing our safe and secure election procedures. Why? To meet the president's personal and political agenda and to silence the voices of millions of eligible American citizens.
James Felton, WNEM TV5.
Benson says if President Trump truly supports election security, he should support election officials who are working to stop foreign interference and weaponized lies and disinformation.
A special primary election for Michigan's open 35th Senate district seat is set for Tuesday. The district covers Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties and was vacated after U.S. Representative Kristen McDonald-Rivet was elected to Congress. Nearly a dozen candidates are running for that seat. The winning Democrat and Republican will face off in the general election on May 5th. You can find out more about Tuesday's special election on WNEM.com. A man found dead with severe head injuries, and no one is in custody yet. Saginaw officers and state police detectives say 49-year-old Armando Garcia was found inside a home on Morrison Street early yesterday morning. He was taken to an area hospital where he died. Police say they have identified a person of interest, but they have yet to make an arrest. Anyone with information is urged to call Saginaw Police or Crime Stoppers.
And another round of cold weather advisories in place for late tonight and Friday morning. Many of the areas in mid-Michigan will have the potential to drop off to about -15 to 20 below zero. However, I do not think it will be in that range most of the time. I think there is also the potential our northern counties could be around 25 to 30 degrees below zero at times. So we'll see if that's eventually upgraded to an extreme cold warning. Right now, it is just an advisory. Another reason that could be an advisory is it may not be as consistent as some of the areas to the south in similar fashion to those 15 to 20 degree wind chills. As far as your temperatures go around the area tonight, most of us are above zero, but Caro has dropped below to around 4 below. MBS and Midland right around 8 and 9. Bay City there too. Saginaw slightly cooler at 5, and Flint is currently at 9. Wind chills starting to drop below zero too, with many between about -5 to 5 above. Your forecast when it comes to the wind, really not strong tonight. Already starting to see them lighten up. up. The problem is whatever we lose in the wind, we're just going to cool off our actual temperature, so everything just balances out. We take a live look at Snowfest, where things are pretty quiet for the moment, but I would expect tomorrow, even with the cold, to be much busier. Your first alert pinpoint Doppler radar shows we've got areas of scattered snow showers offshore. That's where they will stay. Your sky tracker shows the region as a whole pretty quiet, especially compared to recent weeks. The next 12 hours shows the drop in wind chills later tonight. We'll take a look at the full day, plus a preview of the weekend coming up.
Thank you, Chris. Thousands of dollars in new federal funding for the Flushing Police Department.
Our local police officers are risking their lives to keep us safe, and we need to do everything we can to make sure that they are safe. We need to keep their equipment strong and support them so that they can keep themselves safe while they're doing their work.
Congresswoman Kristen McDonald-Rivet announced the investment of about $220,000. It will go toward things like patrol vehicles, radios, bulletproof vests, and other safety equipment. The police chief says the investment is especially important for school resource officers.
This funding both directly and indirectly supports this extremely important service. I originally started out with one SRO in one school as a collaboration with the Flushing Community Schools. And that then evolved into I have every school building, public school building in my area covered with a uniformed police officer.
Congresswoman McDonald-Rivet secured the money through her Community Project Funding Initiative.
Planned work for Consumers Energy in Midland next week will cause a power outage for some. The company says Tuesday crews will perform reliability work on the Larkin substation. Consumers says the work will run from 9 to noon, causing an outage on Sturgeon Avenue north of Letts Road to City Forest. The company has notified affected customers in advance. A backup date is scheduled for next Thursday.
More Flint students will have the opportunity to go to college thanks to the NBA. The National Basketball Association Foundation is giving grants to help fund the Flint Promise Scholarship Program. The money from the NBA Foundation and the Detroit Pistons will help the program continue college success coaching, expand support into the summer, and strengthen outreach strategies. Since its creation in 2018, 117 students have graduated from the Flint Promise program. Across Michigan, 4 parents taken into custody by ICE agents at a school bus stop. The Washtenaw County Sheriff says it happened Tuesday, and all 4 parents have students in the Ypsilanti district. The superintendent says it did not happen on school property, but called the circumstances deeply distressing. A spokesperson with ICE says the agency does not target schools or bus stops, adding there were no children at the bus stop during the arrests, and agents targeted people who had been issued final orders of removal from the country. The agency says all 4 remain in ICE custody pending immigration proceedings and will receive full due process.
Experts are raising environmental concerns about the increasing number of data center projects in Michigan. During a hearing at the state capitol, an expert with the Heartland Institute told members of the House of Representatives these data facilities could strain valuable resources. Researchers with the nonprofit think tank say the demand for electricity is growing too quick without the supply to back it up. That growth is being driven by technology like electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, and the data centers that power AI. Experts with the Heartland Institute echoed concerns from residents who say data centers would damage the environment and drive up prices for people and businesses.
Data centers demand extraordinary reliability, a framework that prioritizes capacity value, fuel security, and firm generation helps ensure that load growth does not erode system resilience. Reliability failures are not abstract. They lead to emergency costs, higher rates, and public frustration.
The Institute says policymakers need to take action to curb potentially negative impacts of some data centers, mirroring steps already taken by other states. It suggested special tariffs on large energy loads and guidelines that ensure the costs of data center operations are not passed on to people and businesses. The countdown is officially on for Mid-Michigan's newest Chick-fil-A.
After the break, the grand opening and how you can win a free entree. Days without running water. That's what some residents at Evergreen Whispering Pines in Midland County say they've been dealing with.
A number of them have reached out to us trying to get some answers. They tell TV5's James Felton what they've had to do to get by.
We just want water. We want water.
Right now, the only running water at Shayna Bradford's home comes from the melting icicles outside. She tells us it's been that way for 2 weeks at Evergreen Whispering Pines in Midland County. A number of other residents reached out to TV5, sharing their concerns and frustration with where things are right now.
I work in a kitchen, so I have to shower every day. And having to travel to my mom's over by the Bullet Creek High School is quite a bit in one of my big trucks. So gas has been expensive and inconvenience. I have 2 children also who I have to take to have showers every couple of days. They're boys, you know how stinky they get.
Bradford tells me she's reached out to the management here, but that hasn't helped.
Nobody wanted to respond to anything, so I called United Way to get us some water out to at least flush the toilets and some drinking water.
I did stop by the office on the property. No one was there. Other residents told TV5 that management is blaming them for not insulating their water line. Bradford disagrees. She says her house is kept at 74 degrees inside. Underneath her home, she showed us the heat tape on her water line, along with insulation there. Bradford also sent us this email she received on January 16th from the office manager of Water District Number 1 of Midland County. The email states in part that the water pressure problem is within the park because they did not upgrade the lines when they hooked up to city water like we had advised them to. The manager went on to say that they had been contacted by the state and attorneys in regards to this issue, and they have all concluded that problem is within the park. For her part, Bradford says even one day without water is one too many, and we're well past that now.
At this point, some people are getting kind of desperate.
James Felton, WNEM TV5.
We called and emailed the owners of Evergreen Whispering Pines, Evergreen Equity GP LLC in Pittsburgh for comment. We're still waiting to hear back.
The Flint Institute of Arts debuting a new temporary exhibit this weekend. Gateways African American Art from the Key Collection will be showcased starting on Sunday. It includes 77 artworks from 68 artists from the personal collection of renowned collector Eric Key. The FIA says with over 35 years of experience in the arts, Key's intent has always been to help preserve the African American existence in the arts, opening gateways for conversations about race, identity, and America. The exhibit will be on display at the Hodge and Temporary Exhibition Galleries from Sunday to April 26th.
Get an utterly delicious meal for free to celebrate the new Chick-fil-A in Bay County next week. Opening day is Thursday the 5th at the location on Wilder Road in Bangor Township. If you sport a cow print, either a whole outfit or just an accessory, you'll get a free entree. In honor of Thursday's opening, the restaurant is also giving back to the community with a $25,000 donation to Feeding America, which will be distributed to partners in the greater Flint, Saginaw, and Bay City area. The Chick-fil-A opens at 6:30 in the morning.
And the weekend just around the corner now, and it looks like a pretty nice weekend. Saturday and Sunday both looking like 2 days where we've got a chance for some sunshine throughout the day. Temperatures Saturday not too much different from what we've had this week, but we start to see a return to the 20s in some areas on Sunday. If you are headed to Snowfest for tonight, expect temperatures to be pretty chilly. Not really anticipating much of a warm up as we go through the night or tomorrow. And so it looks like we'll have wind chills that start Friday pretty cold, but I think once we get to Friday afternoon, things will be a little bit better. Your low temperatures for tonight drop down to around 0 to 10 below. Think there's a slightly lower potential in Ogama and Roscommon County. The further south you go, I think the clouds that eventually move in again later tonight will start to stabilize things a little bit, and I don't anticipate those will drop as far as they could with a fresh snowpack and potentially clear skies. Now, high temperatures Friday back into the upper single digits and also low to mid-teens, averages right around 29, so we're well below that. And of course, we've got the cold weather advisories that come along with it. 15 to 20 below possible for most of the area, though I don't think those values near 20 below will be very consistent. I think we could touch it at times, but I don't necessarily think it's the entire time, and probably not as widespread as it was last week on Friday. So your futurecast wind chills later tonight show most will be again between about 5 and 15 below as we start tomorrow. I would say some of these numbers like Port Hope and East Tawas maybe just a little bit too low. The model was pretty cold compared to reality in some of those northeasterly areas earlier this morning. So I think the same could be said for tonight. But you notice that we're at least in that 5 to 15 degree range below zero. The further west you go, I think those are pretty realistic. And I think those numbers fit for the afternoon. A lot of us 0 to about 10 below. So don't be surprised if you're below zero with the wind chill pretty much all day tomorrow. Do think as we head towards the weekend, Saturday and Sunday mornings will also be below zero. Not quite so much for the afternoon. Your first alert pinpoint Doppler radar shows lake effect snow pretty much offshore tonight out over Lake Huron. Some of it still in West Michigan, but not as much as we've been seeing. Your hour by hour forecast shows the cloud cover tonight makes way for clear skies by the time we start tomorrow. So the chance for some sunshine on your Friday. I do think there will be the chance for a little cloud cover towards the end of the day once again, but overall, don't anticipate too many travel troubles going into Friday evening, and pretty much the same story for the weekend. Your TV5 First Alert 7-day forecast shows temperatures will be right around the 20s early next week. A chance for some snow showers on Monday, a chance for some snow showers on Thursday.
Let's cut the ribbon. Go Flint, go blue.
1, 2, 3.
The University of Michigan Flint celebrating the expansion of Wolverine Essentials. The program, with origins dating back to 2015, first started as a food pantry. Today's expansion now helps students access even more basic needs, such as hygiene items or clothes.
We were able to not only expand the footprint, but really expand the number of resources that we can offer students and how we can best serve them.
That also includes personalized support. Wolverine Essentials can refer students to other services, both on and off campus, that could help them with housing, transportation, and more.
The ovens are fired up again at Uno Pizzeria and Grill in Saginaw Township. It's celebrating its grand reopening today under new ownership. Free pizza was given to the first 50 tables. There are prizes, giveaways, and entertainment until 8.
Some people in Midland will see their power go out for a short time next week. The city says Consumers Energy is performing reliability work on a circuit of the Larkin substation from 9 to noon next Tuesday. It will affect customers on Sturgeon Avenue north of Letts Road to City Forest. If there are issues of our weather doesn't permit, the work will be done next Thursday instead.
Still unfolding, state police are now involved in the search for a missing Pinconning woman. Police say 37-year-old Candy Clem was last seen December 7th. She wears glasses, is 4'9" and weighs 90 pounds. She does have a deformity with her left ear. If you've seen her or know where she could be, call the Pinconning Police Department.
He was pronounced deceased, yet the scene preliminary investigation shows this gentleman was not wearing a seatbelt.
The Grand Blanc Township Police Chief talking about a one-car deadly crash that led to lane closures on I-475 this afternoon. Investigators say just before 1:30, a 34-year-old Burton man driving a Kia left the road.
Clio police are asking for help to identify a man suspected of fraud. They say on December 30th, the man went into the Pearson Road Home Depot where he bought a new hot water heater and a crimping tool using stolen credit card information. Clio police say the man also appears to have presented fraudulent identification bearing the victim's name with the suspect's likeness. If you know who this is, call police.
More people across the state are without a job. A report from the Michigan Department of Technology, Management and Budget says last month unemployment rates rose in 11 of Michigan's 18 labor markets. But December numbers were down from previous years. Last month, regional jobless rates ranged from 3.7 to 7.6%, with the largest rate gain in Northeast Michigan. The report shows the largest over-the-year employment decrease was in the Midland area.
More money to help people behind bars receive a quality education. The Mellon Foundation awarded the Michigan Consortium for Higher Education in Prison a grant worth $750,000. The organization will use the money to hire an executive director and start a sub-award program for the 14 colleges involved with the program. The colleges involved can apply for resources to help support the development of different programs they work to teach, especially the humanities. Experts say the programs are designed to help people stay out of prison once they leave. Thank you for watching WNEM Evening Extra. Of course, keep up with us as the news breaks online, on our app, or on social media.
We'll see you at 11.